So, a few things that I think. And we'll start with one that I'm staring at over there. How should you park a motorcycle? Well, I don't have much logic for this, but it makes sense to me, and I can attempt to explain if anyone happens to call me on it, be curious as to my reasoning, etc. But I'm not going to really go into detail. How should you park a bike? Me personally, I park my motorcycle at the very outside of the parking spot. Like at the very back, where the back end of the car should be if you pulled in straight. Why do I do this? Because I know when driving a car that it pisses me off to be trying to find a spot at Walmart or in a mall or someplace crowded, and next thing I know, I find a spot. Yes, this is awesome, and you get up there and you find out it's like a tiny car, or even worse, a motorcycle parked at the very front of the spot, so you couldn't possibly see it until you were already trying to pull in. Then you have to stop, back up, and continue forward. Not only are your hopes dashed, but you look stupid. I don't like that. As such, when I park my motorcycle, I park at the very back of a parking spot, so that nobody is going to come rushing into that spot, not knowing my bike is there, and bump into it, hit it, run it over, and then back the hell away and speed off like they were never there. Yeah. I also make sure to park with the bike facing downhill. No, I'm sorry. The bike facing uphill in first gear with the bike pushed forward as far as it can go with the clutch out, then rested down on the kickstand. That way it can't go forward, and if it rolls backwards, it's going to be rolling against the kickstand, so it's not gonna roll forward and fall over. Yeah, that's how I think you should park a motorcycle. But that's me. I always park mine in first gear. Even if I do have to park downhill slightly, I make sure that I am forward, against the engine with the clutch out, so the bike won't roll on its own accord. It's against the... yeah. Anyway, let's see. Just had something else in mind, and I've lost it. Ugh. Yeah, totally lost it. What else do I think? There we go. I think you should upgrade your door speakers before you get subwoofers. Why do I think this? A lot of people think that all they want is bass, 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 bass. But, one, your door speakers are designed to flap and buzz and make as much bass as possible with no power, no wattage, no real ass to them. And when you add a subwoofer to that, especially if it's out of phase, you'll end up destroying your door speakers immediately, like extremely quickly. I am a little ashamed to say that I've done it. I had an 01 Alero that I put a pair of 10s in, and I blew out the speakers in that quickly, even though I didn't turn them up any higher than they were. Because my subwoofers were out of phase, because I didn't know how to tell if they were in phase or not. Because I was stupid. It was all Sony stuff anyways. It was a first system. Anyway, yeah, the other reason is, when you get subwoofers, like these two little 8s back here, which you may or may not be able to see one of right over my shoulder, I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. Even these two little 8s will produce a phenomenal amount of sound in the right box. So you need door speakers that'll keep up with that in order for you to have any quality whatsoever. Because I don't care how much of a bass head you are, if all you hear is bass, it gets old in a hurry. Because you hear bass, 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 and then you hear some lyrics, then your bass, and then you hear some lyrics. You can't learn songs that way. You can't appreciate songs that way. Third, I don't believe that any car should have just one chunk of a system. In this car, I dealt with the stock stereo until I had all my stuff together. All my wiring, all my connectors, everything that I needed was bought and was sitting in this car. There's one thing I still need to do. I still need to run 0 gauge from my fuse block to my amp, but it's not pulling full power, so I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, need to sneeze. Anyway, yeah, having one part of a system doesn't make much sense to me. A system, as people are so fond of referring to car audio, is, it shouldn't just be about the bass. What have I done to this truck? I've got 185 amp alternator. I've got 0 gauge from the front to the back. I've got 0 gauge from the engine to ground, or to the ground on the battery, from the frame to the battery, from alternator to battery. You know, all that is designed to let power flow freely, because you need to have clean power in order for you to have decent sound quality. Your head unit, not even all that, you know, important in the grand scheme of things, because you know, it's just the head unit. As long as you have a clean signal, you can amplify the hell out of it, which is the point of amplifiers, which I'm pretty sure you can see. That's a BRZ 1700, and that is a PA 500.4, which you can't get anymore. Yeah, it's not all about power, it's not all about whatever else. It's about the best equipment that you can get with the money you have, and doing the best job of installing it that you can. Yeah, let's see. What else? Oh, something I've wanted to rant about for quite a while. But I'll save it for another video.